Chapter 81. You are listening at novelfull.audio. To keep the ghost sword immortal from stumbling, Lin Haoran took her hand. She followed him closely. Feeling the warmth of his hand, a warmth spread through her usually icy heart. Ghost body temperatures are usually cold, unlike humans, although some exceptions like fire ghosts can burn you to a crisp. Lin Haoran and the ghost sword immortal walked down the road. Many players turned to stare at the ghost sword immortal, her beauty and grace impossible to ignore. They shot envious, jealous looks at Lin Haoran, seeing Lin Haoran, with his grubby hands, holding her delicate hand. Some players practically fumed. "Hey, hold up," a voice called from behind Lin Haoran. Lin Haoran frowned. He knew the ghost sword immortal's looks would draw attention, but he hadn't expected this. Lin Haoran stopped and turned. A handsome guy with long hair approached, followed by several other players. His eyes were glued to the ghost sword immortal. He reluctantly shifted his gaze to Lin Haoran, flashing a practiced smile. "Hey, I'm the head of the roaming ghost group, you can call me roaming leader." Lin Haoran didn't know him, but the other players recognized him. A buzz went through the crowd. Roaming leader. That's roaming leader from the roaming ghost group. Big deal. Never heard of him. Dude, he's kind of a big shot in Novice Village number 4. His ghost group has over 50 members, all top-notch. Only 50. The Yama Palace Guild has 2,000. What's the fuss? Yeah, but they go for quantity, not quality. Every one of his ghosts is sea level or higher. That's pretty impressive, right? Wow, seriously? He's even got an A-level elemental ghost. Super powerful. Okay, I'm impressed. Lin Haoran listened to the chatter and got the gist of things. So, this guy was the leader of some elite group. Big deal. Lin Haoran glanced at roaming leader. "What do you want?" he asked casually. Roaming leader smiled, glanced at the ghost sword immortal, and said, "Is she your ghost?" Lin Haoran nodded, a glint in his eye. "Yeah. You got a thing for her?" Roaming leader looked slightly flustered. "To be honest, I'm a big fan." "Name your price." "I'm talking serious money. I'll give you 100 grand, right now." Roaming leader was laying it on thick. He really wanted that ghost sword immortal. Lin Haoran burst out laughing. "What's so funny, kid? The boss is offering you 100 grand. What, you want more? Don't get greedy. Know when to quit while you're ahead. Out here, if your ghost dies, it's gone for good." Seeing Lin Haoran laughing, roaming leader's crew bristled. They started yelling insults at Lin Haoran. The threat was clear. "What's so funny? Think I'm joking, or is my offer not enough?" Roaming leader narrowed his eyes, a dangerous glint in them. "I just think you're funny. She's priceless. I wouldn't sell her for any amount of money." Lin Haoran looked at the ghost sword immortal. "She's special." The ghost sword immortal's cheeks flushed pink, and a warm feeling spread through her. Roaming leader's smile vanished, replaced by a cold stare. "So that's a no, then?" Roaming leader looked at Lin Haoran with pure menace. His crew grinned cruelly. The surrounding players figured Lin Haoran was a goner. What a shame to lose such a beautiful ghost, they thought. This kid's toast. He talked to roaming leader like that? Dumbass. He wouldn't sell for 100 grand. It's just game data. Treat her like a wife. He had it coming. Bringing such a beautiful ghost out just to show off, ugh. Yeah. Get him. Kill him. I'm so jealous. Seeing other people's ladies are so pretty hurts so much. Roaming leader. We're with you. Get him, steal his wife. Best if you did her in front of him. Ha ha ha. Dude, you're sick. I like it. The surrounding players were consumed with jealousy. If they couldn't have a beautiful ghost, nobody could. Lin Haoran smiled at the comments. Chapter 82. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The body was a mangled mess. Lin Haoran wore a bright smile, but those who knew him knew it was a prelude to violence. Swish, swish, swish. Suddenly, a white sword flashed, cold as moonlight, sinuous as a snake, the blade blurred. Ah! Screams erupted as the players around Lin Haoran clutched at their throats. Blood gushed out, painting their faces with terror and disbelief as they looked at Lin Haoran, then, they dropped dead. Crackle, at the same instant, blue lightning surged, and a black spear, like a thunderbolt, found its mark, a player's head. A gruesome spray of brain matter painted the scene. Ah! Murder! Murder! Panic seized the crowd, and chaos reigned. Lin Haoran and Ghost Sword Immortal had struck without warning, displaying a ruthless efficiency that stunned everyone. How dare he? Didn't he fear inciting the wrath of the masses? Even Luan Xiaoyu's eyes narrowed. He hadn't expected such sudden, brutal violence from Lin Haoran. His own Xiaoyao ghost group didn't dare kill so casually, afraid of the collective fury of the thousands of individual players, a formidable force in the game. Ghost Sword Immortal, finish them. Just a bunch of animals. Lin Haoran glanced at Xiaoyu, then casually walked over to the player he'd shot, picked up the railgun, and spoke to Ghost Sword Immortal. His tone was as indifferent as ordering a chicken dinner. Ghost Sword Immortal, Ghost Spirit sword in hand, advanced, cutting down one person with each step. The dance of sword light, blood, and screams became a macabre symphony, her lethal grace almost obscuring the horror of her actions. Within seconds, Lin Haoran and Ghost Sword Immortal had annihilated the surrounding players. Sword and gun dripped crimson, pooling on the ground. The air hung heavy with the thick, sickening scent of blood. Tap, tap, tap. Lin Haoran's face was smeared with blood, but the smile remained. He advanced on the remaining members of the Xiaoyao ghost group. Each footstep was like the tread of a devil, sending chills down their spines. Sorry, these people were being rude, interrupting our conversation. Where were we? Lin Haoran smiled at Xiaoyu, whose forehead glistened with sweat. Gulp. Xiaoyu stared at Lin Haoran, a devil in human form, and swallowed hard. Dude, sorry to bother you. We were just passing through. We'll be on our way now. Xiaoyu forced a smile, ready to beat a hasty retreat, but Lin Haoran grinned. I hate being threatened the most. Think you can just walk away? Lin Haoran licked a stray drop of blood from the corner of his mouth, his smile predatory. Screw you. You think killing a few nobodies makes you untouchable? I'll take you down. Come out, sickle fiend. Get him, one of Xiaoyu's crew yelled, summoning his personal ghost. A burst of black light materialized, a ghoul wielding a razor-sharp sickle that gleamed with deadly intent. Xiaoyu's face went white. Don't release your ghosts. He's waiting to wipe them out. The others, ready to summon their own ghosts, froze. The sickle fiend, with its C-level stats and level 6 ranking, was an elite, but the moment it appeared, a flash of sword light erased it from existence. Thwack. The sickle fiend's head tumbled to the ground like a basketball. A gusher of black blood erupted from its neck. Clang. The sickle clattered against the cold pavement, a final, hollow note. The newly summoned sickle fiend lay lifeless on the ground, headless. Silence, utter, fearful silence. Not bad for a group leader. You got a brain on you after all. Didn't expect you to be so smart. Lin Haoran feigned surprise. He'd been hoping they would summon their ghosts so he could pick them off, one by one. Might as well be nice to the end, right? Killing players, who could just respawn, was boring. Taking out their ghosts, that was more satisfying, like with the Hades Guild. Ever since he'd wiped their ghosts, they hadn't dared to show their faces. Nice and quiet, but this guy had seen through him. Still, Lin Haoran didn't care. They were just players. He could just shoot them to death. Dude. We don't have a beef. Even if the deal falls through, no need for hard feelings. I'll apologize, compensate you 10 grand. Can we call it even? Xiaoyu's face was a mask of desperation, but he still managed a weak smile. The guy was crafty, managing to keep it together. If I offered someone 100 grand to sleep with your wife, what would you say? Lin Haoran didn't respond to Xiaoyu's offer. He just fixed him with a death glare and spoke softly. hearing Lin Haoran call him his wife, Ghost Sword Immortal's face flushed. She looked at him with a newfound tenderness. P.S. Come on, guys, the reeds are dropping, I am going to cry. Chapter 83. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The answer was obvious. Lin Haoran intended to kill them all. Xiaoyu's expression hardened. Accepting his fate, he dropped the pretense. I concede today. But mark my words, Xiaoyu never forgets a debt. His eyes flashed, and he delivered his cold promise, boom, star. Before he could finish, Lin Haoran shot him point blank in the head. Brain matter splattered, the gore sprayed across the faces of Xiaoyu's remaining crew. Several immediately gagged. Ugh. Lin Haoran frowned, then swiftly ended them all with his spear. The once lively scene was now a bloodbath, leaving only Lin Haoran and the Ghost Sword Immortal. The stench of iron hung heavy in the air. Let's go. Expressionless, Lin Haoran reholstered his railgun and extended a blood-stained hand to the Ghost Sword Immortal. Unafraid of the gore, she placed her pale hand in his. Her beautiful face broke into a dazzling smile, so enchanting that it momentarily stole his focus. He gripped her hand tightly, his own face now lit with a genuine, sunny grin, as they walked side by side, his voice, warm and full, carried on the wind. To walk with a ghost fairy in this world, a beauty whose radiant smile captures my very soul. Meanwhile, back in number 4 Novice Village, the players Lin Haoran had slaughtered fumed at the resurrection stone. Rage and resentment twisted their faces as they cursed him. Unbelievable. That guy is a total animal. Killing people for no reason, it's insane. We barely said 2 words, and he went berserk. Where's the justice? Is there even any law here? That kind of guy has got to be a loser in real life. Probably an orphan with no family. Yeah, a total parasite. If I could find him in the real world, I'd gladly take him out. Someone like that shouldn't even be allowed to play this game. Enough. Let's band together. Everyone spread the word. We'll drive this scumbag out of the game. Right. A united front of individual players. Let's get rid of this pest and make the game a better place. That the players at the Resurrection Stone roared in agreement, pumping their fists in the air. They portrayed themselves as the victims, conveniently forgetting their own trash talk that had triggered Lin Haoran's wrath, but denial was a strong force. They ignored the cause, focusing solely on the effect. They were dead, therefore, Lin Haoran was the villain. Swish, swish. Just then, Xiaoyu and what remained of his team materialized at the Resurrection Stone, their faces ashen. The other players stared, then erupted with excited questions. Captain Xiaoyao, did that scumbag get you too? We're organizing a hit on him. You're the strongest, lead the charge. That they clamored for Xiaoyu to lead the assault on Lin Haoran. A spark ignited in Xiaoyu's eyes, replaced by a mask of righteous anger. Yes, we were also killed, he said. Since everyone is so willing, then I, Xiaoyu, will take charge. We're all victims here. This guy is a danger to the whole Novice Village. Killing someone over an argument is beyond the pale. Everyone, spread the word. My entire Xiaoyao ghost group will join the fight. We'll kick this guy out of the game. We will bring peace back to this game. Kill. 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 That the players roared in unison, launching the number 4 Novice Village's grand crusade against Lin Haoran. As the players dispersed to rally support, Xiaoyu's face twisted into a sinister grin. He muttered to himself, "You've made yourself public enemy number 1. Power doesn't matter when everyone is against you. The tallest tree catches the most wind. It's your own fault. This is the ugly truth of human nature, ha 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 ha. You're still so naive." The Ghost Sword Immortal, ranked 2nd in Ghost Aptitude. She should be with me. Xiaoyu's eyes burned with avarice as he licked his lips, his smile becoming twisted and predatory. Meanwhile, Lin Haoran and the Ghost Sword Immortal finally arrived at their destination, the Ghost Rhino Plains. Across the plains, enormous ghost rhinos with rotting flesh wandered aimlessly. Lin Haoran scanned the rhinos, his reincarnation ghost eye instantly displaying their information. Name, ghost rhino. Qualification, C. Type, physical. Level, 8. Abilities. Rhino horn charge, uses its powerful horn to charge the enemy, dealing heavy damage. Ghost lore, in life, it was a rhino brutally killed by humans for its horn. Its resentment lingered, fueled by ghost energy, transforming it into a ghost rhino with a deep hatred for humans. Description: where's my horn? You take my horn, I take yours. Big horn for big horn. Chapter 84. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The ghost rhinos were everywhere, but the boss was a no-show. Lin Haoran figured the quest item was definitely on the boss again. Alright, come on out. Little Lei Ming, and you too, duck. Lin Haoran summoned all his ghosts, even his pregnant wife. He was ready to wrap things up quickly, ditching the ghost sword fairy for a 4-ghost squad. Dad! Duck! The two little guys appeared. Little Lei Ming greeted Lin Haoran respectfully, a testament to good manners, or maybe just good teaching. Lin Haoran couldn't help but pat his son's head. Duck duck. Seeing Lin Haoran petting little Lei Ming but not Grandpa Duck, the soul-eating crow ghost waddled over, nudging Lin Haoran's hand with its dark head, practically begging for a head pat. Whack. Instead, it got a solid smack on the head from Lin Haoran. You haven't washed your head in days, and you want me to touch it? People will think you're a desperate, dirty bird. Lin Haoran chuckled, scolding the soul-eating crow ghost good-naturedly. Duck duck duck. The soul-eating crow ghost clutched his head, muttering angrily, it hurt his duck heart so much. He tried to be affectionate and got slapped for it. The soul-eating crow ghost was filled with regret. I messed up. Duck. Meanwhile, as Lin Haoran and his crew got closer, the wandering ghost rhinos caught a whiff of the human scent they hated so much, they instantly turned violent, their dark eyes glowing blood red. Roar. They roared furiously, charging towards Lin Haoran and the ghosts. Boom boom boom. The whole plain trembled slightly, like a stampede of horses, kicking up thick clouds of dust. It was intense. Take them down. Lin Haoran pulled out his lightning gun, blew electricity crackling around him, and coldly ordered his ghosts into action. If he could wipe out all the ghost rhinos here, and add the ghost crystals he'd collected in the glacier cave, he should level up. Consider it a grinding session. Duck duck. The panda duck channeled all his resentment into power, opening his beak and unleashing a soul-piercing crow cry. Suddenly, a strange force swept across the charging ghost rhinos. Buzz buzz buzz. The bloodthirsty ghost rhinos were hit with a deafening ringing in their ears. The rhinos in the lead instantly rolled their eyes back and started foaming at the mouth. Boom boom boom. Their huge bodies crashed to the ground, twitching violently, but they were clearly dead. One duck call took out at least 60 ghost rhinos, some of the slower ones escaped. The soul-eating crow ghost's soul duck call had a limited range of about 100 meters, those outside that range were safe. Turns out, the faster you run, the faster you die. The ghost rhino that thought it was the bravest and fastest was feeling pretty smug, but it didn't even get close before dropping dead. Duck, duck, duck. The soul-eating crow ghost flapped his wings, hovering over the fallen rhinos. He opened his beak and sucked, vacuuming up all the ghost rhino souls. Gotta eat the poop while it's hot, right? Especially when it's a delicious soul. On the other side, Lin Haoran, Xiao Leiming, and Ghost Sword Immortal faced the remaining ghost rhinos. There were still quite a few left. Lin Haoran wielded his thunder ghost gun, crackling with green lightning. He was a crack shot, nailing headshots and weak points with ease. These ghost rhinos were just run-of-the-mill ghosts. They were no match for the overpowered Lin Haoran, and Lin Haoran's combat experience kept him calm and collected. The lumbering ghost rhinos couldn't even touch him before being gunned down. The fight between Xiao Leiming and Ghost Sword Immortal was something to see. One was brutal, the other elegant. Xiao Leiming's violent green lightning fried ghost rhinos with a single blast. The power of lightning naturally suppressed ghosts, and Xiao Leiming was wearing a thunder ghost bead to boost the damage. It was like divine retribution. Boom boom boom. Waves of green lightning hammered the bulky ghost rhinos. They were just sitting ducks. The ghost sword immortal's swordplay was deadly. The ghost sword pierced through the heads of the rhinos with surgical precision, that like an embroidery needle, liquids oozed out of every hole. In just over 10 minutes, all the ghost rhinos on Rhino Plain were dead, not a single one survived. Over 100 ghost rhinos fell to Lin Haoran and his 3 ghosts. The soul-eating crow ghost devoured all their souls, and Lin Haoran collected 152 ghost crystals. Combined with the ones he had, he should be able to level up. Lin Haoran ate the ghost crystals without hesitation, and finally reached level 11. Ding dong! Congratulations on your level upgrade, current level, level 11. Lin Haoran grinned and opened the level ranking list. NO1, hidden nickname, level 11. NO2, Miyamoto Musashi, level 7. NO3, King Arthur * Caesar, level 7. NO4, Emperor, level 7. NO5, Handsome Overlord, level 6. He still led the pack by a mile. The higher the level, the slower the progress. Since money can't buy high-level ghost crystals anymore, the ghosts he contracted needed ghost crystals to level up, and the amount needed was astronomical. Slow progress was just part of the game. P.S. Thanks for the gifts, appreciate it. Moi. Please don't abandon the book, please don't. Woo woo woo. Chapter 85. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The enemy was a total mess. Roar. Lin Haoran had just finished dealing with all the ghost rhinos on the Rhino Plain when a deafening roar echoed from the depths, shaking the entire area. Luckily, the ghosts here were so high level that no players had ventured this far yet. Otherwise, it would have drawn a crowd for sure. Boom boom boom. A series of massive thuds followed. The ground trembled slightly, and a cloud of dust billowed up from the plain in the distance. A colossal ghost rhino lumbered into view, and Lin Haoran watched, his expression grim. It stood at least 8 feet tall and 13 feet long, its thick hide shimmering, promising formidable defense. Its massive black eyes blazed with fury. A long, thick, black horn jutted from its head, seriously intimidating. The reincarnation ghost eye in Lin Haoran's left eye twitched, and information flooded his mind. Name, Rhino Ghost Leader, Elite Boss, rating, B, type, physical, level, 10, abilities, thick hide. The Rhino Ghost Leader's tough hide grants 100% increased defense. Wild Horn Charge. The Rhino Ghost Leader channels ghost energy into its horn and charges, dealing massive damage. Ghost Lore. Formerly the leader of a rhino herd, brutally slaughtered by humans for their horns. His resentment festered after death, and he was reborn as a powerful boss consumed by hatred for humanity. Weakness, but, description, see this thing on my head? If you're scared, get outta here, or I'll gore ya. Damn. This guy's one tough cookie. Lin Haoran, seeing the Rhino Ghost Leader's abilities, cursed under his breath. This rhino's skin was practically bulletproof. I've never seen such a tanky ghost, he thought. Lin Haoran glanced at the reggae gun in his hand, a flicker of regret in his eyes. He murmured, sorry, buddy. Guess I'll have to put you to work today. If the reggae gun had feelings, it probably would have fired a few rounds at Lin Haoran in protest. Roar. Hatred burned in the Rhino Ghost Leader's dark eyes. He and his herd were killed by humans in life, and he was killed again by humans in death. It was just too much. The Rhino Ghost Leader roared, a wave of ghost energy surging through him, coalescing around his horn. He charged at Lin Haoran like a tank, launching the brutal horn charge. The silly duck soul call was still on cooldown. Lin Haoran wasted no time pulling the 9-story ghost-suppressing tower from his, he pulled it out and tossed it into the air. Buzz buzz. The tower pulsed with white light, transforming into a spectral pagoda hovering above. A mysterious force radiated outwards, creating the ghost-suppressing field. The charging Rhino Ghost Leader instantly felt his speed, defense, and attack power plummet. Roar. Panic flashed in the Ghost Rhino Leader's eyes. He roared, bewildered by his sudden weakness and filled with unease. Let's hit him together. Kill! Green lightning crackled around Lin Haoran, and his eyes gleamed with determination. He roared, leading the charge. Yes, father, little Lei Ming chirped obediently, unleashing a torrent of green lightning. The violent electricity coalesced into a lightning spear in his hand. Crackle. Thunder boomed. Little Lei Ming's face was solemn. He spoke in a childish voice. Spear of judgment, pierce this cow for me. Swish swish. The terrifying lightning spear streaked like a thunderbolt. The lightning spear slammed into the rhino ghost leader's tough hide. Boom! A deafening explosion ripped through the air. The rhino ghost leader stumbled, brought to a halt by the sheer force, and bellowed in pain. Roar! A charred wound appeared where little Lei Ming's judgment spear struck. The defense hadn't been completely broken, but it was close. Little Lei Ming's judgment spear was his strongest single-target attack. It was so destructive that even the rhino hide, thicker than a city wall, and the elite boss buffs, could barely withstand it. Die! Lin Haoran's attack landed at the same time. While the ghost rhino leader's head was still reeling, Lin Haoran had stealthily circled around, eyeing the ghost rhino leader's rear. His gaze hardened. The reggae gun, crackling with lightning, was aimed straight for the ghost rhino leader's weak spot. Puff! The spear struck like a thunder dragon. The thunder ghost spear, wreathed in terrifying lightning, pierced the ghost rhino leader's backside. Awoo! The ghost rhino leader let out a heartbreaking, agonizing shriek. The dog ghost, lurking nearby, shuddered, fear flashing in his eyes. He turned tail, muttering curses under his breath. It was too brutal. Even a dog couldn't watch. P.S. Another chapter is stuck in review again. Woo please don't drive. Chapter 86. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The ghost rhino leader boss's eyes were bloodshot, bulging in their sockets. The huge beast jumped straight up, leaving Lin Haoran momentarily stunned. He was speechless. Who knew a rhino could jump that high? Oh! The ghost rhino leader boss thrashed and scraped against the ground, black blood gushing out, staining the green grass. You're disgusting, Ghost Sword Fairy said to Lin Haoran with a cold, disdainful look. Lin Haoran. Lin Haoran's mouth twitched. Was this really his fault? Blame the reincarnation ghost eyes for pointing out the weakness, right where the sun doesn't shine. If you're told to hit it, you hit it. Ho ho ho. The ghost rhino leader boss was now forced to accept a harsh reality. It was no longer pristine, as cruel as it was. This was its new life. Tears of humiliation welled up in the dark pupils of the ghost rhino leader boss. Then, consumed by rage, it fixed Lin Haoran with a look that could kill. It wanted nothing more than to tear him to shreds. Roar! The ghost rhino leader boss roared skyward, its fury palpable, ghost energy erupting around its horn. Like a mad bull, it charged at Lin Haoran. Ghost tower suppression, control. Lin Haoran stared down the murderous ghost rhino leader boss, feeling no remorse. Maybe he had gone too far, but so what? All's fair in love and war. Lin Haoran activated the power of the 9-story ghost suppressing tower. Buzzing. The 9-story ghost suppressing tower floating in the air emitted a piercing whine. The massive tower slammed down on the ghost rhino leader boss. Boom boom boom. The ghost rhino leader boss felt its legs buckle as if a mountain had been dropped on its back. Ugh. It spat out a mouthful of blood, pinned to the ground by the 9-story ghost suppressing tower. A deep crater formed beneath it. Xiao Lei Ming, now. Use the spear of judgment. Aim for its rear. Lin Haoran seized the opportunity and yelled to Xiao Lei Ming, young and innocent. Xiao Lei Ming trusted Lin Haoran implicitly, hearing his words, that he didn't hesitate for a second. Got it, father. Xiao Lei Ming responded instantly, unleashing a torrent of rainbow-colored lightning. It gathered in Xiao Lei Ming's tiny hands. Crackling. Green lightning bolts snaked around Xiao Lei Ming, crackling and hissing. Eat this. Xiao Lei Ming targeted the ghost rhino leader boss's bleeding backside. He roared, and the spear of judgment in his hand, now a blue lance, hurtled toward the ghost rhino leader boss's exposed rear with unstoppable force. The ghost rhino leader boss, eyes wide with terror, struggled beneath the tower. It wanted to scream, help. Bro, spare me. I'm already wrecked. Stop messing with my butt. I'm damaged goods, but pinned down by the 9-story ghost suppression tower, it couldn't utter a sound, all it could do was desperately try to clench, it was a futile gesture. Boom. Its pitiful defense was like tissue paper, easily shredded by the lightning spear, then, with the force of a thunderbolt, the spear of judgment pierced the ghost rhino leader boss's vulnerable spot, the 8-foot-long spear plunged into the ghost rhino leader boss's body, boom boom boom. Terrifying lightning energy exploded inside the ghost rhino leader boss, bathing it in black blood, the huge body twitched, finally succumbing to its painful, humiliating, and unjust end, its dark, bloodshot eyes locked on Lin Haoran, as if etching his image into its very soul. Caw, caw, caw. The soul-eating crow ghost materialized, its beak a gaping black hole, with a sudden inhale. The poor ghost rhino leader boss suffered a final double dose of torment, as its soul was devoured by the soul-eating crow ghost. Burp. The soul-eating crow ghost burped, patted its belly, and a look of satisfaction spread across its face, delicious, tasted like beef. The body of the ghost rhino leader boss slowly dissolved into black mist, leaving behind a rhino horn, a ghost crystal, and an evil ghost mask. Little Lei Ming, nice one. Lin Haoran praised little Lei Ming. Little Lei Ming blushed slightly, a little embarrassed. Don't learn bad habits from your father. Ghost Sword Fairy muttered to little Lei Ming, shooting Lin Haoran a disapproving glance. The ghost rhino leader boss sure had a rough go, getting cruelly abused by father and son, a truly miserable death. Bad habits? What bad habits are you talking about? Little Lei Ming frowned, confused. Little Lei Ming, go pick up the loot. Lin Haoran quickly changed the subject, sending little Lei Ming to collect the items dropped by the ghost rhino leader boss. Okay, father. Little Lei Ming nodded obediently and turned to retrieve the spoils. Suddenly, a dark figure darted out of the shadows near the ghost rhino leader boss. It snatched the 3 items and bolted. How dare they? Seeing this, Lin Haoran's left eye, the reincarnation ghost eye, snapped open like the eye of a god of death. He roared with fury. P.S. This picture has been modified more than 10 times, and I am so tired. Oh, thank you for the gifts, my dears. Please give me a 5-star review. Chapter 87. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The old man was so angry he needed to cool off with a walk. Lin Haoran was beyond furious. He couldn't believe someone had the nerve to steal from him right under his nose. This was a direct challenge. He was so tight with his money, he'd pick up even a measly ghost crystal. Now, someone had swiped all the loot from the boss. Was this guy trying to kill him? As the shadowy figure darted away, Lin Haoran reacted instinctively, letting out a primal roar. Pure ghost energy exploded from him. Without hesitation, he activated the evil ghost armor he wore, triggering its ability, Evil Ghost Roar. The air shimmered in front of Lin Haoran as a demonic ghost head materialized. It had horns, a hideous face, and dark eyes burning with an eerie black light. The evil ghost opened its bloody maw and unleashed a deafening roar. Roar! No matter how fast the shadow was, it couldn't outrun sound. The escaping figure was slammed to a halt by the terrifying blast. Ag! Clutching its head, it cried out in agony. Evil Ghost Roar summons an evil ghost phantom that unleashes a massive roar, damaging enemies and inflicting a brain-ringing stun. The phantom's roar stopped the shadow dead, revealing its full form. It was a black figure wreathed in dark energy, with only a pair of blood-red eyes visible. At that moment, the reincarnation ghost's left eye flickered, and information flooded Lin Haoran's mind. Name, Shadow Black Ghost. Rank, type, Elemental. Contract, Equal contract. Level, 6. Abilities. Shadow lurking. The shadow black ghost can hide in shadows, greatly reducing its presence and making it nearly undetectable. Ghost info, a creature born from ghost energy in the shadows, invisible and elusive, it loves the darkness. Pass by one, and it'll slit your throat before you even know it. Sunlight is its weakness. Description, you can't see me, but I can see you, and I love watching couples get busy. Lin Haoran's eyes narrowed. Now he understood why this thing had been hanging around undetected. Turns out, it was an expert in sneaky tactics. Plus, it was an A-rank elemental monster, a damn good ghost to have, but the equal contract meant it already belonged to someone else. That player had ordered it to steal his loot. A cold glint entered Lin Haoran's eyes. Trying to steal candy from a baby, huh? Looks like you've got a death wish. His voice dripping with menace, Lin Haoran commanded his ghost. Take it down, but don't kill it. I have plans for it. Even without the order, the ghost sword immortal was already seeing red. It attacked in a furious blur, the ghost sword piercing the shadow black ghost's thigh like a bolt of light, black blood splattered like tar. Ag. The shadow black ghost, just recovering from the stunned roar, screamed in agony, clutching its leg. Lin Haoran, little Lei Ming, the ghost sword immortal, and the soul-devouring crow ghost surrounded the injured creature. Quack, quack, quack. The soul-devouring crow ghost glared at the shadow black ghost with its beady eyes, pecking it repeatedly with its sharp beak, making angry duck-like noises. You dare steal from Uncle Duck? You're a skin for it. I'll peck you, I'll peck you, I'll peck you good, the shadow black ghost cried out in pain, but didn't dare resist. Little Lei Ming and the ghost sword immortal's auras pinned it down. Any sudden move, and it'd be sporting a few more holes, so it just took the beating. Ah! The soul-devouring crow ghost's assault produced a series of strange noises from the shadow black ghost. Lin Haoran grimaced slightly as he picked up the items the shadow black ghost had dropped. Finally, his expression eased. Lin Haoran scanned the trees and bushes, then said calmly. If I were you, I'd come out now. Otherwise, say goodbye to your A-rank ghost. Silence. No one emerged. Lin Haoran's eyes narrowed. He raised the reggae gun, blue lightning crackling around him. Fine then. Die. The reggae gun, a thunder dragon in his hand, was about to strike the shadow black ghost's head when a voice cried out. Wait. The voice sounded familiar. A woman with unremarkable features stepped out of the trees. Snow White. Lin Haoran recognized her instantly. He paused, then spoke slowly. It was Bai Shui, the woman who had helped him kill the elite boss, the Thunderbird ghost. He had added her as a friend in a game. He remembered her being talkative, but also aware of boundaries and polite. He hadn't expected her to be the one trying to steal his loot. Unexpected, yet, somehow, it made sense. The wickedness of the human heart. Lin Haoran understood it all too well. He would never forget the pain of being devoured by thousands of ghosts. A sarcastic smile played on Lin Haoran's lips as he looked at Bai Shui, who stood before him, head bowed and silent, as if looking at some kind of beast. Chapter 88. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In Novice Village No. 4, a high-level grinding spot, 5 players in black windbreakers and devil masks were directing their ghosts to slaughter wild level 8 ghosts. Corpses littered the ground, black blood turning the area into a gruesome slaughterhouse. Boss, one of the players in a white devil mask said, his voice male. Snow White's down, and shadow black ghost bit the dust too. The leader, wearing a black devil mask, responded, his voice a low growl. Who iced them? With her ghost power, barely anyone should be able to take her out. She said it was a player named Lu Dao. The white-masked player continued, the same one who wrecked the Yama Palace Guild and offed Xiaoyu. He's also our elusive target, the one who doesn't respond to friend requests. I didn't expect him to run into Snow White and eliminate her. So it was him, huh? The black-masked man mused. He's pretty strong. Taking out Snow White proves that. He's got what it takes to join us. Go, tell him we'll let him avenge Snow White if he joins us. He paused, then said, he can kill her himself. As long as he signs up, everything is water under the bridge. After a moment's consideration, the black-masked leader said to the white-masked player in a gravelly tone, but, if he refuses, you know what to do. Yes, boss. The white-masked player nodded respectfully and left. He. The boss is so cold, treating a young woman so cruelly. a player in a silver devil mask said with a seductive female voice, her tone playful. But I love it, the black-masked man's eyes, dull and lifeless, fixed on her. The weak don't get to make demands, he stated coldly, then led the other three into a more challenging map, unaware of her abandonment by this mysterious organization. Poor Snow White was at the Resurrection Stone, eager to meet the white devil-masked player who had promised to come over soon. A gleam of excitement flashed across her face, contorting her features with resentment as she hissed, "Lu Dao, you're dead." Ha ha ha. Her laughter echoed, sending shivers down the spine. Back in the real world, Lin Haoran removed his gaming helmet. It was already 8:30 p.m. Rumble. His stomach grumbled loudly. He headed to the restroom, threw on his coat, and went out for dinner. Heading to his usual spot, the owner saw him and greeted him with a smile. "Hey there, young man. Back again." He was an older man with gray hair, but still ran his own restaurant. "What'll it be today?" Lin Haoran glanced at the menu. Tomato scrambled eggs, boiled beef, anhui fish, and cauliflower with pork. "All right, coming right up." The old man smiled and went into the kitchen. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A cold wind howled outside. Lin Haoran checked the temperature on his phone. It was already 19 degrees Celsius. That was odd, it shouldn't be this cold this time of year, he frowned, a strange thought forming in his mind. I remember that a few weeks before the apocalyptic game merged with Earth in my past life, the global temperature plummeted. By the day of the merge, it was 0 degrees Celsius, even here in the south, it was even worse up north. That was because the Doomsday Weird Game was trying to merge with the Earth, which would produce a space-time crack. The ghost energy from the Weird Game leaked into the Earth in advance, causing the world to cool down. But there's still over a month to go. Lin Haoran's heart sank. He knitted his brows, guessing, could it be that because I was reborn, the world has undergone unknown changes? Or is this just a random cold snap? Unsure, he filed the thought away. If the temperature kept dropping every day, he'd know the Doomsday Weird Game had merged with Earth early. "Here's your food." The old man brought the dishes over, setting them down with a smile. Lin Haoran pushed his speculations aside. Time to eat first, worry later. He picked up his chopsticks and dug in. One of the reasons he came here so often was the owner's cooking. It always hit the spot. By the time he finished, it was 9 p.m. Because of the sudden temperature drop, there were few customers in the restaurant and even fewer pedestrians on the street, everyone bundled up in coats, hurrying along. On his walk home, Lin Haoran overheard conversations around him. "What's with this weather? Why the sudden cold? It's only spring." Seriously, it dropped several degrees overnight. "It's so weird. I was wearing short sleeves yesterday. I prefer it a bit colder, gets hot every day otherwise." "True, but something feels off about this. It's a little creepy." "Ha ha ha, don't be ridiculous. It's just a cold snap. You're acting like it's the end of the world." Lin Haoran tightened his coat and glanced at the dark sky, devoid of stars or moon. A strange light flickered in his eyes, and he muttered to himself, "It is the end of the world." His faint voice trailed off. "For me, it makes no difference." The cold wind rustled the leaves. Under the streetlight, a slender figure strode forward resolutely, step by step into the darkness. His shadow lengthened, carrying a hint of age and loneliness, yet his steps remained firm and unwavering. "If the world wants to hurt me," he vowed, "then I'll destroy the world." Chapter 89. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a long stretch of bad weather, the skies finally cleared. Lin Haoran got back to his place around 9 p.m., he took a hot shower, and the fatigue melted away. Wide awake, he fired up his computer and logged into the game's official forum. He started browsing the threads about in-game happenings. It was a habit he'd picked up in his previous life, scrolling through the forums for entertainment. This habit was the reason he was so well informed. He scanned through the usual posts, ads for buying ghost crystals, ghosts, and gear. Guilds were also actively recruiting. Several had sprung up, the big names in China included, Emperor's Heavenly Court Guild, the Overlord Guild, run by his old nemesis, and the King of Hell's Underworld Palace Guild. When he saw the Overlord Guild's recruitment message, a flicker of coldness flashed in his eyes. He muttered, "Li Shuai, savor every moment. Your clock is ticking." A chilling smile crept across Lin Haoran's face. He scrolled down, and a post caught his eye, making him grin. The title screamed, "Psycho Killer on the Loose in Noob Village No. 4. Public Enemy No. 1. No. 4 Village Players, get in here." Lin Haoran instantly felt like this was about him. Call it a gut feeling. A smile played on his lips as he clicked. Sure enough, the first image was of him in his evil ghost armor, face blurred, holding a reggae gun, blowing a player's brains out. He had to admit, the photo was pretty awesome. Head exploded, blood and brains everywhere. Lin Haoran looked like a devil, gleefully slaughtering humans. The rest of the photos were more of the same, Lin Haoran ruthlessly mowing down players, piles of corpses, rivers of blood, a literal hellscape. The caption laid out Lin Haoran's crimes. "Attention, Noob Village No. 4 players. We're writing this in blood to call on all solo players to unite against this monster. This guy is a bloodthirsty maniac. He shoots anyone he disagrees with, no questions asked. Countless solo players have been terrorized by him. We, the solo players, must stand together and fight this demon, or we'll be next. We've got 3,000 players forming the evil Ghost Crusader army. We need more players to join us in wiping out this evil and bringing peace back to Noob Village No. 4. The post was a well-crafted mix of images and text, designed to grab attention and resonate with players. A group of players fanned the flames in the comments, pushing everyone's emotions to a fever pitch. That was him. The bastard. My girlfriend and I were swatting mosquitoes in the woods, and he shot me dead. Then, he took my girlfriend and continued swatting mosquitoes together. Wait, what happened next? Did we swat mosquitoes together? Dude, stay on topic. I was also killed by that jerk. I never even met him. He just looked at me and shot me. He even yelled, "Where's your daddy?" Holy crap, this guy is insane. Super scary. He's gotta be stopped. Seriously. He's probably a real-life murderer. Someone call the cops. Let's team up and take him down. People like that deserve to die. Yeah. Let's kill him so he can't play anymore. He doesn't deserve it. I'm in. Me too. The comment section was a madhouse, with more and more people joining the anti-Lin Haoran mob. Even players who had never heard of Lin Haoran were getting sucked in by the hype. Seeing all this, Lin Haoran's face turned icy. The King of Hell. Or, the Free Ghost Group. But no matter who's behind this. If you come after me, I'll kill you. If you're not afraid of dying once, I'll kill you twice. If you're not afraid of dying twice, I'll kill you 5 times. Lin Haoran spoke each word deliberately, his voice dripping with coldness. You think you can scare me by turning everyone against me? Ha! You're dead wrong. I've never considered myself one of the good guys. A twisted smile spread across Lin Haoran's face, and his left eye snapped open. It looked like a ghost's eye from hell, with concentric white circles like a death sentence, giving off a strange and unsettling vibe. Come on, let me show you what real hell looks like. Lin Haoran grinned, revealing a disturbing smile. The night passed without incident. Early the next morning, Lin Haoran ate breakfast and eagerly logged back into the game. His character materialized on the Rhino Plains. He immediately opened his system backpack to check out the loot dropped by the Rhino Ghost leader boss from yesterday, P.S. Thanks for the gifts, everyone. The real action starts now. Stay tuned. Oni-chan. I'll post another chapter tomorrow to show my appreciation. Chapter 90. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The first time, just as Lin Haoran was about to dive into his system backpack, a gruff voice blasted in his ears. Ding dong. Congratulations, player. You've dominated the top spot on all 3 leaderboards for a week straight. a feat of unparalleled skill. The system is granting you a world announcement and a special mystery reward. Do you want to hide your nickname? Lin Haoran's face lit up. Here it comes, he muttered. Finally. Last time, the top players on each list got an S-rank ghost. Since I'm leading all three, my reward has got to be even better, he thought, buzzing with anticipation. Hide nickname. He confirmed, instantly. Every player in the game was jolted by a deafening system announcement, like a thunderclap, ding dong. Congratulations to player for holding the top spot on 3 leaderboards for a week, an achievement of unparalleled skill and eternal glory. They've earned a world announcement and the following rewards: 1000 ghost slaying reputation, an S-rank ghost, death substitute scarecrow, and a ghost treasure, soul ghost crystal. Congratulations to player for dominating the leaderboards. Point 3 booming announcements echoed across the game, sending shockwaves through the entire player base. Even Shao Kunken, who was getting his morning exercise in, paused in shame, staring with wide eyes at the streaming light. A strange silence fell over the game. Everyone realized the top player on all 3 lists was the same person. The revelation detonated the world chat channel like a bomb. Double 18 tough guy, holy crap. So the top spots were all held by the same player? My mind is blown. Balala Fairy, I thought the hidden names meant they were different people. Nope, all the same. Basketball controller, screw this game, time to go back to basketball. Backstrap man, join the Kun cult. What are ghosts compared to my Kun chicken? Heart Fuji Shinichi, Yoshi, the players from the great island nation are awesome. Soon our swords will be pointing at China. Your mom's day, you little Japanese, nuclear wastewater has rotted your brain. Go drink some more. Musashi Kojiro, Baka. You claim to be a great nation, but your manners are appalling. Yamadi, LOL. Sorry, we only show respect to people, not animals. We just spray them down. Heavenly War God, greetings, number 1 player. The Heavenly Guild is recruiting. Join us and receive $1 million salary, plus a car and house in the real world. Contact me in a private chat. Farewell my concubine, greetings, number 1 player. I'm from the Overlord Guild, and we want you to join us. 1 million a year, plus a car, a house, and a wife. Private chat me, you won't be disappointed. The world chat channel was a chaotic mess, updating faster than anyone could read. Some players were envious, others jealous, and still others accused the top player of cheating. Several big guilds were throwing money at Lin Haoran, hoping to recruit him, but Lin Haoran himself was too busy to check the chaos. He was eagerly examining his new loot. He'd expected the S-rank ghost, but the ghost treasure was a complete surprise. He could barely contain his excitement as he read the stats of the S-rank ghost. Name, death substitute scarecrow. Type, S-rank ghost. Effect. When equipped by a player or ghost, this item will absorb fatal damage, acting as a substitute for death. Ghost info, a scarecrow filled with resentment, transformed into a ghost after being imbued with ghostly energy. A valuable find. Lin Haoran's eyes widened in delight. This S-rank ghost wasn't a fighter, but its effect was amazing. It could block a fatal blow. Images of his ghost queen wife and the ghost sword fairy flashed through his mind. This item would be best utilized by a ghost, since players get 5 respawns, but ghosts stay dead. This scarecrow would grant them an extra life, which was huge. He decided to give it to his ghost queen wife. After all, she was his main squeeze, plus, her power was central to his own build. He couldn't risk losing her. Lin Haoran moved on to the last reward, the ghost treasure. Name, soul ghost crystal, ghost treasure. Type, special ghost treasure. Effect, can be consumed by ghosts to enhance their soul power, with a chance of unlocking a soul type skill. Most effective when given to soul type ghosts, with an increased chance of improving their abilities and gaining a soul type skill. Ghost info, a ghost treasure nurtured by heaven and earth, filled with mysterious and potent power. PS bonus chapter to celebrate the new treasures. Thanks for all the love and support. Remember to check in every day. Don't enable piracy.